Hello and welcome to this episode of the Business Spotlight. Today we are joined by Leigh and Dan from Eat, Drink, Peach. Hi guys.
Hiya.
Hello,
So
Mark.
thanks for being on this episode of the Business Spotlight. We're really excited to find out a little bit more about you guys and a bit more about your business. So just to explain for those that are joining us, and it's the first episode of the Business Spotlight that they've watched, we're here to learn about you, your business, what will inspire people, and more importantly, those people that are joining business or that entrepreneurial journey for the first time. So, Leigh, if you could just kick things off for us by just saying who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for.
We are Peach, and we started in 2020. We've now got two locations, one in Bishop Stortford, one in Hertford. Um, our background, I'm a hairdresser by trade. Dan's an ex-lorry driver. We started a food van, and we kind of did various festivals and stuff, and then we progressed to our first site in Bishop Stortford. And yeah, now we're still going. We do brunch, uh, burgers, small plates, cocktails, all sorts of fun foods and drinks.
Wow, that's awesome. So you got two sites, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. So what would you say, guys, that makes you sort of stand out from the other people that are in the same sort of sector as what you do? What's your niche? What makes you different?
I think what makes us so different, we're not them business owners who've kind of just got a restaurant and then took a back seat. And when Peach first opened, I mean, we were there kind of 24/7. During the pandemic, when we were on lockdown, it gave me and Leigh an opportunity to. I mean, we done all the decorating in the restaurant ourselves. We were on lockdown. It kind of blessed us a little bit because it allowed us to be at the restaurant
Yeah.
because obviously that wasn't restricted. And as bad a time as it was actually also a nice time because we were like, wow, when all this decorating is done, hopefully we're finally going to be able to open our restaurant. So that was a bit of a unique, a bit of a difference for us and other businesses. What else makes us different, I suppose, is we we don't just, like me as chef, I'm not just thinking about the food that comes out of the kitchen. you know
Yeah.
Leigh thinks about the food that comes out of the kitchen. I do. Leigh thinks about out the front, what music is playing, the ambience of the restaurant, our customers enjoying their experience in the restaurant rather than just the food that they're eating. We've got both of our minds on that. So it's kind of every little detail is covered. There's some restaurants that they just maybe think about the food or the coffee, but we kind of think further ahead of that. Even the baby change facilities in our restaurant, the toilet, it's like one of the most important aspects of what makes a restaurant tick and gives the customer that experience. We think of everything.
Yeah, it's all about the small details, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So obviously you guys kicked things off in the pandemic. So, that was, well, what, coming up 4 years ago now. So just give me a little bit of a rundown of the journey from like, back then in the pandemic to where you guys are now.
Um, we we were planning a soft launch. I think it was on like the 24th of March 2020, and like where we was going to get friends and family in and do that. Obviously, a few days before that, we're told that there's a lockdown. No idea what is ahead of us. And so we kind of, I mean, we took our foot off the gas for a couple of days to kind of just work out what was going on. And then was like, look, we've got rent to pay. Our landlord's not budging. It's not being flexible in the slightest. We need to create some kind of income. So we was just kind of selling whatever we could. We did an NHS menu. Uh we did like frozen
Sunday
homemade
roast.
frozen meals. We did Sunday roasts. We did a home delivery Sunday roast, and then we kind of decided to do a burger menu, and that really kicked off the burger menu. So when it came to opening, we was like, this needs to be part of our business. And then then we finally managed to open in July, and there was a lot of learning, learning fast, and growing and developing and reassessing and changing and adapting. It was all going on.
Did you open both sites simultaneously, or which one came first?
We started in Bishop Stortford, and then Hertford opened last. We've been open in Hertford just over a year now, so November 22.
Wow, fantastic. So what's the plans for the future then? And what do you think sort of challenges be going forward?
I mean, plans for the future. Right now we're actually jiggling about our menu because, like Leigh said, when we first opened during pandemic, it was like everybody went burger and banana mad crazy. And the truth is that, we still do cracking burgers, but we kind of feel that they've lost their novelty a little bit. So we're going to kind of revert back to what we originally envisioned doing, which was, selling nice small dinner plates paired with cocktails and nice wines and beers, etc. So yeah, we're kind of putting a menu in place now. Me, Leigh, and our ops manager James. We're putting a menu in place for that, and we're kind of going to take the business to the next level. And there are many challenges that lie ahead. Hospitality. I mean, there was a point I would have said about a year and a half ago where I was kind of saying that hospitality is on its knees. Thanks to Brexit, many chefs, particularly front of house staff, we relied on foreign labour. And the truth is, a lot of these guys have now gone back to their homeland, and the selection of chefs that was available a year and a half ago was really bad. But it's actually picked up slightly. We've actually got a sponsor license now, so we can recruit from overseas. There's a lot of procedures and processes to do that, but it is another string to our bow. But yeah, it is challenging. The price of gas and everything, the costs of our food. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's only the strong survive right now, and we've got to stay strong.
No, that's brilliant. That's some great shares, Dan. Thanks very much for that. So,
No
so
worries.
moving on to both of you then. I mean, I don't know who wants to go first on this one, but as business owners, what would you say has been, just since you've started this journey, what's been your biggest lessons and learnings today?
I think for me, it's people, managing people, dealing with people, understanding. Like those in the beginning, we were all about, I don't know, just trying to get the food right, trying to get the food right, trying to get the food right, which we did, and our reviews say it. And then we was always trying to get around to doing appraisals and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of always, you start and then you just wouldn't get around to it. And now I've kind of just realized how important it is to just make that time to have the appraisals with your staff, speak to them, understand, give them that moment to just kind of where you're there listening. You don't have to agree, but yeah, just having that one-on-one time where you can talk. It is so important for staff morale and just maintaining that relationship with your staff members.
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant share, Lee. That is such a great share, and it's often something that doesn't always come to mind, or it gets overlooked when you're setting out at the beginning running businesses. I mean, Dan, did you want to add anything on to that?
No. I think Leigh's hit the nail on the head, Mark. It is a little bit old school, but for me, the most important people that come through our doors are our staff. They're the ones who provide the, you know, you got the chefs, the front of house stuff. They're the ones who provide the service to the customer. So for we have to make sure that we've got, you know, our staff have got a very good morale about them, so they're going to give the customers the best service.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, they're the ambassadors of the business after all. You know, when people,
Yeah.
the clients, customers come through the door, the first interaction they have is with the staff. So if the staff are sort of like, you know, buzzing and high and sort of like feeling good, then that's going to come across, isn't it? So yeah, no, that's a brilliant shout. So this is probably one of my favorite questions to ask the guests on the business spotlight. So we could go in a DeLorean if you like, if you're from that era and you're familiar with the Back to the Future thing. But we're going to go back in time now, guys. So we're going to go back to a time when you was just an 18-year-old lad, but you're armed with the knowledge of what you've now learned over the period of time. So what would be the best one singular piece of advice that you would give an 18-year-old you? Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to go first on this. Do it now. Do it soon. Do it while you're young. Um, I remember when I was kind of 13 years old, I started working a butchery shop. My dad was, you know, very old school, working class Yorkshireman. I had a job in a butcher's when I was 13 years old that I used to go after school. Then I'd go at weekends, and then eventually I found myself not going to school because I was working there. And you know, when I did finally leave school earlier than what I should have done, you know, my dad kind of said to me, "Oh, brilliant! You've got a job at that butcher's for life." Um, when I did eventually leave that butcher's when I was about 18, my dad told me what, you know, it was a silly thing that I was doing. Oh, I had a job for life there. But, you know, as much as they were brilliant guys who I was working for, I'd probably, if I'd have taken my dad's advice, I would have still been there now. But, you know, I wish I kind of had the hunger back then when I was 18 that what I had when, you know, now and when we first got Peach. But I think there's a different generation as well now. You know, I see a lot when I was 17, 18, me and probably all of my school friends as well. Yeah, they were thinking about their future, but they were also thinking about where we're going to go and have a drink on Friday night and Saturday night. Whereas I think kids nowadays is a different generation. They kind of come out of school, and if they're going to go to uni, after the uni, they're kind of looking for the big bucks straight away. They want to be earning them 50, 60K numbers sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, that's an absolutely fantastic share, Dan. Thanks very much for that. That's really insightful.
Always.
Leigh, do you want to answer that one?
I think for me, um, it is following your gut and following your intuition. Really, just not overthinking or worrying or questioning, and just do it. Try it. If it doesn't work out, move on, adapt, change it. But yeah, I think it's just staying true to your gut and staying true to your intuition, not overthinking things.
Yeah, no, that's a very key thing, isn't it? I think a lot of us, especially when we're younger, we sort of like worry a bit too much. Is it the right thing? Is it not? And sort of don't always go with that gut instinct. And I think it's a
Yeah.
really good point that you've made there, Leigh, to just go with it and sort of trust your instinct.
I think the other thing is you have people outside you as well from different generations, it like putting their advice onto you, which can kind of blur your you've got your parents, your school teachers, you've got your friends, you've got other peers and stuff like that. Everyone's got an opinion, but it's only what's right for you. And I mean, I had so many people telling me not to be a hairdresser, to go to uni, um, you know, so many people. And if I hadn't become a hairdresser, like I would have had a lot more doors closed. My life would be completely different now. And you know, yeah, I'm just glad that kind of just went with that gut that, yeah, just drew me to it.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, Leigh. That's so powerful as well. So, no, some great shares there. Thanks, guys. So,
Thank you.
what is it that really inspires you? You know, what is it that inspires you to do what you do on a daily, weekly basis? You know, that really puts that fire in your belly, guys.
I mean, the whole reason for me changing my career, the inspiration behind it was my wife, Valentina. She was the one that really, you know, gave me the belief that I could cook. You know, at first it was just a hobby. I loved, you know, I had to cook from the age of 13. Um, and it was a hobby, but she gave me the belief that I could kind of take it a step further, and then, you know, to get a street food van, and you know, and then eventually, yeah, me and Leigh have got 2 restaurants now. I think you've got to have a passion. There's got to be a passion involved in what you do, otherwise it will just be kind of a run of the mill job, cooking. But the fact that I love food, I love cooking. One of the biggest joys that I get is serving somebody a plate of food, and then the reaction that I get from that, if they've enjoyed a dish, you know, the feedback of saying, wow, do you know what, that is fantastic. For me, that kind of pays better than money in a way.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, Dan. Thanks for that. And I can just tell by the passion and the excitement in your voice when you were just describing that that's what fires you up. So, no, that's a
Cheers,
great
mate.
share, Dan. Thanks so much for that.
I think for me, I think I don't know. I think when the challenges show up, I think that's when that's when the fire in the belly for me kicks in. It's like, okay, right, we've got a challenge now. Let's roll up our sleeves. What are we going to do? And I kind of really like see it almost as an opportunity. So, okay, we can flip this around. What can we do? I don't know what drives that, but that is definitely where I feel like, I don't know, just really feel switched on and kind of yeah, just ready for battle.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. That sounds great. So you love to turn a threat into an opportunity, right?
Yeah, I do. It's a
Yeah.
bit strange actually.
No, it's not. It's quite a common thing, actually, Leigh. But
No, cool.
you know, I can tell just again through that excitement, just sort of sitting on the edge of your seat as you were describing it there. That's great, guys. So, look, just to wrap things up, if you could share with us, and more importantly, the viewers today, how they can find out a bit more about you. You know, where you are online, where you are, you know, geographically, websites, that kind of stuff, and if you've got any specials on at the moment as well.
So I mean, we've got our website, eatdrinkpeach.com, lots of information about our bottomless brunches and upcoming events. We have got a veganuary kitchen takeover coming up next week. Our best place to discover us is on our Instagram, which is eatdrinkpeach. And yeah, what have we got other things coming up, Dan? We've gone blank now.
Yeah, no, we've no, I mean, we've got Valentine's Day obviously next month as well. We've got a lovely menu in place for that. Yeah, we've got Veganuary coming up, like Leigh said. Obviously we're in the middle of Veganuary now, but we've got our first pop up, which is a week today actually at Bishop Stortford. It's a lady who I know in Cambridge. She's a friend of mine and my wife's, and she's by far the best vegan. Her vegan food is incredible. I'm really excited to see her kind of take over our kitchen, and it's very good for Peach as well. But yeah, and then obviously the new menu which we're looking to launch, small plates in March time, hopefully earlier if we kind of get it all boxed off. Yeah, but we're yeah, new little chapter for Peach. So yeah, watch this space.
No, that's absolutely fantastic, guys. Well, listen, it's been absolutely awesome finding out more about you guys, finding out about Eat, Drink, Peach. And anyone that wants to find out more, jump onto the website, go onto their Insta, and I'm sure you'd find out more. And I mean, I'm definitely going to be coming to visit. I mean, Hertford's probably the nearest one for me. So I'll be checking you guys out very, very soon. But it's been lovely to meet you. And thank you so much for your time today.
Great, thank you.
No worries, Mark.
Thanks, everyone. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Spotlight. So until next time, we'll see you all again soon.